Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another very exciting Star Wars video. I am your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg, and today we have some of the most exciting news in a very long time. At D23 over the weekend, we got the premiere date for Andor's second season, April 22nd, 2025. But now there is more. In a brand new promotional video for what's coming to Disney Plus in 2025, they've included some very exciting footage of the second season of the Tony Gilroy show, the Rogue One prequel, which is going to blow our minds, just as the first season did. The season is grander in scope. We're going to see the reintroduction of Krennic, K2SO, and this teaser trailer did not disappoint. They also showed us some new footage for Skeleton Crew, which drops in just under a month. But let's begin with Andor. As we know, they did a lot of filming in Spain, at the University of Arts and Sciences in Valencia. There are some small rebel uprisings across the galaxy, the underdog against the Imperial regime. If you thought Rick's Road and what happened on Ferrix at the end of Season 1 was epic, get ready, because there are more explosions, more fights, more civil unrest, more stormtroopers, and we're even getting range troopers from Solo: A Star Wars Story. This morning when the footage was going round, one of the most popular questions I've seen is concerning this first shot. Is this building a similar Imperial command complex to the one on Lothal in Star Wars Rebels? I'm gonna say no. The scale is nowhere near the immensity of the one in Rebels, and I think there's nothing more than just their shape. We have an amazing new look at the Rebel base on Yavin 4, a classic location from multiple Star Wars projects that really originated in A New Hope in 1977. There is more Bix, more Wilman Pack, and oh boy does he want to get back at the Empire for what they did to his dad. The embodiment of rebellion starting small, the son of a mechanic, working at his father's place of business, he is now inspired after the Ferrix riot, after his father Salman disappeared into Imperial custody and was executed. Revenge, and the rebel striking back, is at the heart of this season. I couldn't tell at first glance if this is Vel, but we know we're also getting more Luthen. But what is focused on most heavily in this new teaser trailer is the progression of Cassian himself. Luthen criticizes him for thinking like a thief. That's the old Cassian. He's got to think like a leader, even despite Cassian himself in this teaser saying, quote, "I'm thinking like a soldier. He needs to be more than that." And this sort of connects to what he says in Rogue One. He says we've all done terrible things on behalf of the rebellion. Spies, saboteurs, assassins. Everything I did for the rebellion. And every time I walk away from something I wanted to forget, I told myself it was for a cause I believed in. Tony Gilroy is not afraid to go full spy thriller, really embody the adult side of the franchise, and I think we're about to see some of those terrible things that Cassian did. I've said it before, my dear friends, but I don't think Luthen is making it to the end of the season. He's not in Rogue One, and I have a feeling one of the terrible things Cassian does is betray him, in the name of the greater good, in the name of the Rebel Alliance. We don't know the details at this stage, but it is so exciting, probably the most excited I've been for a Star Wars project in the last 2-3 years. I do personally know a couple of spoilers, which I'm not really going to divulge at this point, but one of the characters deliberately featured in the new TV spot is Bix. Bix Kalleen is about to have a massive arc. I'm not going to say any more, but that is a character to watch. Also guys, I don't know if you noticed, but Cassian breaks into an early version of the Imperial TIE Interceptor. We are in for some peak Star Wars content. Fingers crossed. Such high hopes for this one. There's a lot more tension between the characters as well, as the Rebel Alliance is about to form, as Mon Mothma is going to be helped defect and found the Rebel Alliance. We're in for a lot of sacrifice, and I'm still keeping my fingers crossed for the Ghost Crew. Earlier in the timeline than we see them in Ahsoka Season 1. Also guys, someone who's a Rebel pilot at this point is Omega. I think Dave Filoni's the one who wants to introduce her into live action, but timeline-wise, this would be another opportunity. And would you know it guys, take a look at this. Our first look at K2SO on Coruscant. Alan Tudyk's K2 security droid, a fan favourite of the Disney Star Wars era, and I think they're going to rewrite how he meets Cassian. What a treat, April 22nd, 2025. As I mentioned at the start of the video, we also have some new footage for Skeleton Crew, a new look at Jodnar Narwood, as well as the kids getting into trouble, Fern, Wim, KB, Neil, and comparatively, my dear friends, I think we're in for much better cinematography than some of the more recent Star Wars live-action series. Skeleton Crew and Andor Season 2 look enormous, the world seems so wide-reaching, and both shows are promising new locations and new planets. There was some speculation we're returning to Naboo in Andor, but I don't think so. Even though filming was done at Heather Castle, which was used in The Phantom Menace, my prediction is that is going to be the location of Mon Mothma's daughter's wedding. Ah yes, another big plot point from the first season. There's obviously defection from the Senate, but I think Mon's falling out with her husband Perrin, family matters, her being found out about the transfer of credits, are all going to contribute to her finally leaving. It's a tragic story for Mon, but with hope, the heart of Star Wars. What do you guys think? Let me know. In other major Star Wars updates, my dear friends, we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian and Grogu, Jon Favreau's upcoming 2026 movie. The Lucasfilm panel from D23 Expo in Brazil was a couple of days ago, over the weekend. I covered all of the highlights and all of the main announcements, but now there is more. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni sent an exclusive, special message to fans in attendance, and they were on the set of The Mandalorian and Grogu, and behind them, something very intriguing. We have some Aurebesh writing on doors which are vaguely reminiscent of Mandalorian architecture. I'm very excited by the kind of detective underworld vibes. The planet that is being teased in this promo is anyone's guess. It's very grimy, and that's the exact vibe we'd expect from Din and Grogu going on a mission for the New Republic. But fans also noticed Dave Filoni is wearing his Ahsoka jacket. Filming for the second season of that show is in just a few months' time, and with Skeleton Crew under a month away, the Mandalorian universe is really expanding. But one thing some Star Wars fans can't seem to get over is the fact the movie is titled The Mandalorian and Grogu. It does seem pretty unoriginal. It tells us there's going to be a focus on the father and son dynamic, but more than anything there was an expectation The Mandalorian and Grogu was just a working title. But no, they're going all in on it. The Mandalorian and Grogu is what it's going to be called, and hopefully that does mean answering some questions about Grogu. And I'd like to just echo an opinion put forward by Game Rant. The movie, the marketing for it in 2026, should spark a chain reaction for video games set during the New Republic. It's mind-boggling it's not happened yet. Despite all of the rumours, despite the cancellation of Respawn's Star Wars Mandalorian first-person shooter game that they were going to develop, Lucasfilm should not let the opportunity slide. They need to double down on it. There would be so much demand. Din and his son are already very popular characters, so hopefully that's to come. But let me know your thoughts on all of today's news in the comments down below. In case you missed it, I put out a very different kind of video, which is almost like a fan fiction, which I don't do often. I wrote a script, hired a couple of voice actors, and I put together what I think would have been an interesting interaction between Vader and Shmi in one of his visions in his meditation chamber. Don't miss it, I'm sure you're gonna love it. But did you enjoy this video? If you did, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, the link to my Patreon is down below, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you, always.